Good morning, energetic and enthusiastic learners in English 6. Welcome to another episode of Valenzuela Facebook Live. I am Sir J. Mark, your live streaming teacher in today's session. You are learning from the comfort zone of your home via live streaming from our city's Center of Excellence, the Valenzuela City School of Mathematics and Science. For your attendance, type your name, your section, your teacher's name, and the name of your school in the comment box. I will give you 30 seconds to key in your attendance. Your time starts now. Thank you for your attendance. Before we move on, here are some of the things that you should do while you are in a virtual classroom. First, create a quiet and comfortable study space. You have to look for a place that you are free from noise and choose where you stay to feel good while learning. Second, be on time. Make sure that you know your schedule, especially your virtual classes. Third, be prepared. Make sure that everything is set. Your module, your pens, and papers. Fourth, pay attention. Always listen to your live streaming teacher. Remember, good listening skill helps you to understand more the lesson. Fifth, be respectful. Give respect to the idea of others. Be careful with your comments and your responses in the chat box. Comment only on the things that are related to the lesson. 6. Have fun and be creative. You are here to learn new things. Make sure that you are having fun while learning. Okay kids, press the like button if you are ready. Wow, very good. In today's lesson, we will be discussing the most essential learning competency, evaluate narratives based on how the author developed the elements, specifically focused on determining elements of a plot with a code EN6RC-IG-2.24.1-2. Again, sit back and relax. Listen attentively and actively participate in our discussion. I know that all of you are fond of reading stories, even watching movies during your free time, and you were able to notice that some parts of the stories you are reading caught your attention and you even feel the intensity of every scene. Press the wow emoji if you are ready. It seems that you are all set. Now, let's have an activity. Direction. Label the parts of the plot diagram using the terms from the word bank. You will be given 10 seconds to type your responses in the comment box below. Number 1. Your time starts now. And the answer is exposition. Very good. It is a nice start to do the activity. For item number 2, your time starts now. The answer is conflict. Good job, learners. For item number 3, your 10 seconds timer starts now. And the answer would be rising action. Excellence. You're doing good, kids. For item number 4, time starts now. The answer is climax. Wow, what an impressive performance, grade 6 learners. For item number 5, your time starts now. The answer is, you got the correct answer. It's falling action. And for the last item, we have number 6. Your time starts now. The answer is resolution. Job well done, learners. Congratulations. Are you still with me? Press the care button if you are still in front of your monitor watching Facebook Live. Very good. I will show you a picture. Tell me something about the picture. What have you noticed? Very good. The girl in the picture is so focused on using her cell phone. Are you doing the same thing as her? Are you fond of using your cell phones? Yes, I know. Some of you are busy with your cell phones, and you are all having fun using them. What are the things you must remember while your teacher reads the story? First, be attentive. You must be fully focused on the text being read. Second, understanding. Understand carefully what the reader is saying. Third, be disciplined. Please refrain from sending comments in the comment box while reading the story and be attentive. This time, let us read a story where we can know how the main character Elisa manages screen time on her cell phone. This story was written by Maria Melanie L. Paduhino. Listen and follow me in reading the selection. A Wake-Up Call by Maria Melanie L. Paduhino. Elisa is a simple girl who loves to stay in her room all day. She spends her time playing with her cell phone. She only gets out of her room when it is time to eat. Her parents would usually scold her because of her attitude. Elisa, will you please go out for a while? It seems that you are too caught up with your cell phone. Can't you help me in the kitchen? I'm so busy right now, her mother said. Wait for a while, Mom, Elisa answered. I just need to finish this video, she added. How many hours will I wait for you, Elisa? I need you right now, yelled Mom. For a while, Mom. I just really need to finish this, answered Elisa. This angered Mom. If you will not get out of your room in a minute, I will confiscate your cell phone and I will not return it to you anymore, her mother said. Elisa quickly went out of her room and said, I'm sorry, Mom. I had been unhelpful to you. I promise I will not spend most of my time watching YouTube and playing Mobile Legends. I hope you will forgive me. It's all right, Elisa. I just hope next time you will be responsible enough for using your gadgets. Remember that there is a right time for that, Ma'am explained. Now, this is a sentence taken from the story. Elisa is a simple girl who loves to stay in her room all day. What element of a story does this sentence show? Very good. The statement displays the character in the story. Here are some of the comprehension questions to better understand the story. Number 1. Who is the main character in the story? Very good. The main character in the story is Elisa. Second, what is the problem in the story? Yes, the problem in the story is that Elisa's time was focused on using her cell phone, not even thinking to help her mother with the housework. Great job, learners. Third, why did mom yell? Exactly. Her mom yelled at her because she pays attention to the video on her cell phone rather to help her in the kitchen. Very well said. Very good, learners. Fourth, what made mom angry? Yes, her mom got angry because of her attitude that she needs to finish watching the video before going out of her room and helping her mother. And fifth, what was Elise's reaction after mom got angry at her? Yes, she went out immediately of her room and asked forgiveness from her mother. 6. Did mom forgive Elisa? Why or why not? Yes, mom did forgive Elisa because she knew that her daughter needs to be reminded that she must be more responsible in all her actions. I hope you all understood the story about Elisa. Now, as you have noticed, the reading selection, the paragraphs in the story were grouped in boxes that had something to do with the discussion today. By the way, what is plot? Yes, a plot is an essential element of a story that shows the sequence of events. Each part reveals the character, setting, problem, and moral. It is the structure or organization of events that make up the story. Here are the elements of a plot. First, we have exposition. Is an element of a plot that introduces the character or characters and the setting of the story. Example, let's go back to the story. Elisa is a simple girl who loves to stay in her room all day. She spends her time playing with her cell phone. She only gets out of her room when it is time to eat. Her parents would usually scold her because of her attitude. In this part of the story, the main character Elisa and the setting of the story were introduced. It is located on box 1 or group 1 of the story. Second, you have the conflict. Does not only talk about the problem in the story, but also shows how the characters struggle. It adds suspense and excitement to a story. There are 5 types of conflict. First, you have the character versus character. This means that the one character may struggle against another. Example, a young schoolboy comes in conflict with a strict teacher. Second, character versus nature. A character may struggle against nature. Here is an example. An old sailor comes into conflict with forces of nature at sea after he kills a dolphin. Third, character versus society. A conflict may occur between a person and the forces of society. An example of this, Kiana wants to study in a school exclusive to girls. Unfortunately, her family could not afford to send her to a private school. Fourth, characters versus themselves. This is a conflict that occurs within a character. Example, Elisa thought for a while and said, "Will I finish watching the video on my cell phone or stop and help mom in the kitchen instead?" And last, character versus supernatural forces. A character may fight against supernatural forces such as the characters in the Philippine mythology, Pathala, Kapre, Duende, Tikbalang, and others. Example, Pedro stumbles upon a small hill where a duende lives. The duende gets angry because his house is destroyed. When Pedro arrives home, he feels unwell. His nanay calls an albularyo. Albularyo says that it is done by an angry duende. Now, what kind of conflict does this story, The Wake Up Call, has? Yes, very good. That's really correct. This kind of conflict is character versus character. Why? Because of her attitude towards using her cell phone. Elisa, will you please go out for a while? It seems that you are too caught up with your cell phone. Can't you help me in the kitchen? I'm so busy right now, her mother said. In this part of the story, the conflict was emphasized. It is in box 2 or paragraph 2 of the story. Third elements of a plot, we have the rising action. These are events that lead to a climax. This also increases the tension in the story. So let's have this example. "Wait for a while, Mom," Elisa answered. "I just need to finish this video," she added. "How many hours will I wait for you, Elisa?" "I need you right now," yelled Mom. "For a while, Mom. I just really need to finish this," answered Elisa. In this part of the story, the main character, Elisa, refuses to obey her mother's request. To this scene, the level of intensity is rising to the highest point of interest that would answer the possible question: what would Elisa's mother do? This part is located on box 3 or paragraph 3 of the story. Fourth, we have the climax. It may be one or many problems that create the high point of the story. It usually foretells the ending of the story. Let's have this example. This angered mom. If you will not get out of your room in a minute, I will confiscate your cell phone and I will not return it to you anymore, her mother said. So, in this part of the story, will Elisa obey her mother? What would happen then? At this point, your interest will be leveled up to read the selection because you want to know what Elisa will do. And this is on box 4 or paragraph 4 of the story. Fifth, the falling action. It is an element when the tension decreases and everything begins to settle down. So let's have this example. Elisa quickly went out of her room and said, "I'm sorry, Mom. I have been unhelpful to you. I promise I will not spend most of my time watching YouTube and playing Mobile Legends. I hope you will forgive me." In this part of the story, Elisa obeys her mother. The tension between them were decreased. And this is on box 5 or paragraph 5 of this story. And then we have the resolution. Resolution occurs after the plot. It is when you discovered what happens to the characters after the conflict is settled. It also tells the end of the story. So let's take a look at this example. "It's alright, Elisa. I just hope next time you will be responsible enough for using your gadgets. Remember that there is the right time for that," Mom explained. So in this part of the story, the conflict or the problem between Elisa and her mother was resolved. This is on box 6 or paragraph 6 of the story. Now, your understanding of the elements of a plot has been enlightened throughout the discussion with examples given to it. Are you still with me, kids? If you are, then type plot in the comment box below. Wow! I see your comments rushing in the chat box. Very good and thank you for participating. Here is another activity that will deepen your knowledge in our lesson for today. Directions. Identify what element of plot is being presented in the following statement. Choose the letter of the correct answer. I will give you 10 seconds to type in your answers in the comment box below. Press the heart button if you are ready. Number 1. Her dad demanded her to stop. He told her his story about how his life was before he became successful. What shocked Mary more was the fact that her dad was also once a beggar when he was still a child. Here are the choices. A. Exposition. B. Conflict. C. Rising action. D. Falling action. E. Resolution. And F. Climax. You have 10 seconds to type in your answers. The correct answer is F. Climax. Good job, learners. Number 2. Mary is the only child of the richest businessman in town, Mr. Diego de la Cruz. One day, she and her parents went to Disneyland for a tour. Is it A. Exposition, B. Conflict, C. Rising action, D. Falling action, E. Resolution, F. Climax. You have 10 seconds to type in your answers. The correct answer is A. Exposition. Very good. For number 3, Mary regretted what she had done to the dirty man. She also apologized to the manager whom she treated badly. Is it A. Exposition, B. Conflict, C. Rising action, D. Falling action, E. Resolution, F. Climax. You have 10 seconds to type your answers. And the correct answer is letter D, falling action. Very good, learners. And for number 4, every time Mary sees beggars, she shares whatever food there is in her bag. Is it A. Exposition, B. Conflict, C. Rising action, D. Falling action, E. Resolution? You have 10 seconds to type in your answers. Yes, the correct answer is letter E, resolution. Excellent, learners. For number 5, when Mary was about to enter the restaurant they are going to have lunch with, she saw an old man wearing dirty and ragged clothes come to her. She got angry that she shouted at the old man to get away from her. Is it A. Exposition, B. Conflict, C. Rising action, D. Falling action, and E. Resolution? You have 10 seconds to type in your answers in the comment box. The correct answer is letter B, conflict. Good job, learners. Number 6, the last number. Not only that, but she also told the manager of the restaurant to shoo away the man. If not, she will call the godfather, the owner of the restaurant, to fire him. Is it A. Exposition, B. Conflict, C. Rising action, D. Falling action, E. Resolution? You have 10 seconds to type in your answers in the comment box below. Yes, the correct answer is letter C, rising action. Excellent! You have nailed an exceptional performance today, learners. I'm sure that your minds were fueled up by the activities given. To sum up our lesson for today, always remember the elements of a plot. First, the exposition is an element of a plot that introduces the character or characters and the setting of the story. Second, you have the conflict. Conflict does not only talk about the problem in the story, but also shows how the characters struggle. It adds up suspense and excitement to a story. And the conflict has 5 types. We have character versus character, character versus nature, third, character versus society, fourth, characters versus themselves, and fifth, character versus supernatural forces. The third element of a plot is rising action. These are events that lead to a climax, also increase the tension in the story. And fourth, the climax. It may be one or many problems that create the high point of the story. It usually foretells the ending of the story. Fifth, the falling action. It is an element when the tension decreases and everything begins to settle down. And sixth, the resolution. It occurs after the plot. It is when you discover what happens to the characters after the conflict is settled. It is also tells the end of the story. Now, we are on a part of our live stream where I'm going to answer some of your questions. So we are on the answer and question person. I will answer a question that is luckily picked by the moderator in the comment box. I will give you 1 minute to type in your questions, and your time starts now. Let's have this question came from John Michael Russell Oriarte of My Son Elementary School. Hi sir, why is it essential to determine the elements of a plot? Hello there, Michael. Thank you for your question. Well, it is important to determine the elements of a plot because it is very useful in understanding the events of the story. And the plot is simply the structure or organization of events that make up a story. Thank you for your question, Michael. I know that there are so many questions in our comment box. Unfortunately, we do not have enough time to answer them. But I'm sure your English teachers will be happy to answer them. So don't forget to participate in the online follow-up discussion that will happen tomorrow. For the last time, can you please type the code, elements, and plot in the comment box for me to know if you learned a lot in today's discussion. Wow! Thank you for your participation. May I also remind you to please don't forget to browse your learning module. Our lesson is on Module 2, Lesson 2, page 14 to 27. To my fellow English teachers, you can access this presentation using your DepEd Gmail in the link shown aboard. I hope that you have enjoyed today's lesson. Tune in again for the next live stream for the Valenzuela Live for English 6. At this time, I would like to thank the following. Sir Michael Divinaflor of Lawang Bato Elementary School for the PowerPoint template, and Miguel Rodrigo F. Carag of My Son Elementary School for the drawing of the picture. Again, as our Secretary of Education, Leonor Briones mentioned, in any situation, learning must continue. Stay home, stay safe, and God bless us all. This is Teacher Jimmer, your live streaming teacher for English 6. saying thank you and have a great day.